guys, what's up? It's Joe Rady from Rady's Rides. I'm here at the 2020 Chicago Auto Show, and a big surprise coming from Jeep just at this show today. This is the 2021 Jeep Gladiator, but it's unlike any other Gladiator. This is the Mojave Gladiator. Let's talk a little bit about the Gladiator and Jeep. So the Gladiator, that mid-size pickup truck. Remember, this truck is a mid-size, believe it or not, going up against the Chevy Colorado, the GMC Canyon, the Toyota Tacoma, so on and so forth. There's been a lot of off-road excitement and specialty models from some of the other manufacturers when you look at Ford with the Raptor and Chevy with the Colorado ZR2 and the Bison. With this Mojave, Jeep wants to just squash the competition when it comes to that desert running, off-roading that so many Jeep owners love, but also want to have that flexibility of a pickup truck. So let's go ahead, dive into this 2021 Mojave and see what separates it, not only from the other Gladiator trims, but also the competition. Right off the bat, this color fits it to a T. We come to the front end, you're gonna have that 7-slot grille. Now remember, there's that old wives' tale that the 7-slot grille goes back to the 7 continents that Jeep was first on. When we drop down, you can see the massive front bumper. You're gonna still have the lower external lighting, orange, bright orange tow hook. So this is a higher grade level than the Rubicon. The track has actually been widened from front tire to front tire, has actually been widened about 1.5 inches. You have over 11 inches of ground clearance. And one thing, if you want to make sure that a vehicle like this is off-road capable and really is, you know, something that's even more so than the other trims, underneath you're going to have full metal protection to protect the inner bits as you are going down that terrain, whether it's the desert, whether it's a rocky situation. Now going up onto the hood, you'll see we have an updated hood. Now the zonk that I have to bring is that this attractive hood scoop is blocked off, it's non-functional. Now Jeep says that through their Jeep Performance Parts catalog, there will be the ability to make this functional, but it does look very menacing, adds to the overall look, especially with the LED lighting and everything. And as we come around the bend, we're gonna see some other differences that this Mojave is all about. Of course, you're gonna get that Mojave script on both sides of that updated hood with the orange trim around. We drop down and we see some differences. First of all, before we get to the wheel, I wanna talk about suspension. So we have a very, very Fox special racing suspension. So when you're looking at that suspension, you're basically looking at a 2.5-inch diameter aluminum internal bypass Fox remote reservoir shocks that are specific to the setup. Like I said, with the front track, that's gonna help with stability, and it has military grade suspension fluid in those bits. As we drop down, you're gonna have a special 17 by 7.5 inch wheel, and of course, those Falcon off-road tires, 33-inch tires wrapped around there. It's gonna make sure that you are not gonna get stuck anywhere. You're gonna be actually unsticking the people that are stuck. But just the way this thing sits, seeing that Fox suspension, you know that it has the bits to get you down that road once the pavement ends. Now, as we continue down the side, of course, with a Jeep, you got those awesome fender flares. We have the Jeep badging with the orange. I like the way they carry it all the way through from the front tow hooks to the badging, the Gladiator badge as well. This vent over here is non-functional, so we're gonna zonk that as well. What's great though, is that if you've seen my other Gladiator reviews on the channel, you know that 99% of the time we have all the doors and everything on the vehicle. The great thing about a Jeep, unlike a Colorado or Raptor, you get to take everything off. So we'll give you a little bit more enticement to the interior, but you can see how we have that frame protection. This isn't plastic, this is powder coated metal to protect that frame as you're rock crawling. We keep working our way back. Roof is off, doors are off. That's what makes this thing awesome. You have a nice cloth tonneau cover for the bed. I'll have Lori kind of show off that Fox suspension on the rear. You can see the frame of this Gladiator. Remember, this is a mid-sized truck. So really the main competition in this is gonna be that Colorado ZR2 and the Bison. When it comes to the suspension bits, everything is steel to really help take a beating as we're going off-road. When we get to the back, just like the front, you have the powder-coated orange tow hooks. You got your Jeep badge. Really gives that functionality that maybe your Jeep Wrangler isn't cutting the mustard anymore. And of course, you got full towing capacity. But why don't we go ahead, let's pop the hood and see if there's anything different for the Mojave. All right, guys, so we talked about on this Gladiator how with the Mojave, things have been beefed up suspension-wise. This hood is not aluminum. This is a steel hood. So when you go to lift it, it's gonna take just a little bit more muscle to get it in position for the prop rod. But underneath that, do we have any changes? That's the big question that I know everybody is putting in that comment section. Unfortunately, no. You're looking at a 3.6 liter Pentastar V6, 285 horsepower, still going to that 8-speed automatic transmission. But you know what? When you look at how flexible this engine is when it comes to towing, when it comes to daily driving and everything, I'm not so sure if Jeep owners want more power out of their engine. Now, of course, there is that diesel-powered engine that is new. Maybe that might wind up in here. It's really a big guessing game at this point right now, but I'm sure when it came to price point, going this route kind of kept things a little bit more tidier. But why don't we go ahead, talked about the outside, we talked about underneath, let's go ahead and check out the interior of this Jeep Mojave. All right, guys, we're inside the 2021 Mojave, the Jeep Mojave. No price announced yet, so stay tuned for that. And of course, at Fitzgerald Jeep, we are going to be doing the review of this really crazy off-road capable vehicle. Let's see what you're getting. Now, obviously there's no doors to talk about because they've taken them off for us, but you can see how they brought that orange trim motif all through the AC vents. I like this nice, it almost feels like a powder coated finish that they did on the Mojave. I really am digging that. Orange stitching, this is that 8.4 inch Uconnect system. I know you can't see any of it, but I promise you, you can get in your AC controls, all the good stuff right there smack dab in the center. You drop down, now this gets a little switch heavy, but I'll explain why. Being a Jeep, we have to take the window controls and actually bring them here because when you lose the doors, that would be just one more thing to disconnect. So all the electrics are here, but let's pop up back here. You do have heated seats. You have dual climate control, which is a nice touch in your Jeep. Your start stop button, it has a rubber, it's actually a rubber button. So if you have mud on your finger, it's not like you're gonna be like, oops, oops. You're able to hit it. It's got nice grip to it. You drop down, you got those window controls. What's under here? USB-C, USB, and an aux jack, and a 12 volt. So there's no longer a time where you have to give up all the amenities if you want to go off-roading. Now, of course, your traditional Jeep setup, you have your controls down here, you have aux switches where you could add extra lighting, a winch, whatever you want to put on your Mojave that's not here now, you have that capability to wire it in, and you don't have to add a bunch of switches. You have the good old little shifter to go into 2 high, 4 high, and 4 low. This is going to control the 8-speed automatic. I do like the finishes, the orange trim. You got your 2 cup holders, good old-fashioned e-brake, nice high armrest. Now it is as hard as a rock, but I guess you should get used to that since you're going to be crawling over the rocks. It's like the rock's way of getting back at you, making your elbow kind of sore. But you open this up, what do we have? Party tray, M&Ms, peanuts, maybe Skittles. Lift it up. Now you got plenty of room for all the snacks. Snickers, the Twix, 3 Musketeers, maybe 100 grand. I'll give you 100 grand. If you find me here at the Chicago Auto Show, I'll give you 100 grand. Candy bar. USB, and then the seats, look at this. Mojave, I do like the touch. The leather is nice. Stitching all the way down. Of course, you're gonna have manual controls. This is a Jeep, but it's great to have that flexibility, and you got the all-weather mat protection. I think in the Mojave, I would have gone without the carpet. Lose the carpet if you're gonna do this off-road stuff for real. Let's go to the back seat. So the great news about this Mojave is that with outdoors and stuff, it makes it so easy. You do have the ability to put stuff in your cargo net down there for storage. Not really the biggest fan, but I am gonna zonk it. But it's a Jeep, so I get it. It's easier to clean. You do have rear AC vents. Here's your window controls for the doors that you took off. You got your flip up here, USB-C, USB, USB-C, USB, and a home power source. And I like the way that they have these nice lids that actually click, so you're not getting dirt, grime, dust, sand, snot, rocks, anything like that in there. 2 cup holders. Seating position, obviously you got plenty of headroom when you take the roof off. They mount the speakers in this rollover bar, and then you even have a nice armrest. Now, it's a little softer than that one, but I love the height. I mean, you could just be going off-road, you're just drinking your milk, it's splashing all over you. I mean, try to eat a Twinkie while you're crawling rocks. Send me pictures of that, please. Fold it back, but let's get to the part that I know you want to be sitting in. You don't want to be the passenger, you want to be the boss of the Mojave. Let's go check it out. All right, guys, business end. So you do have your wheel adjustment, which can take some time, but I have seen worse. It's not like the hands of time. It's just a little bit of a twist action. You do have the adjustment for your seat to raise it, lower it. Steering wheel, I love in these Jeeps. Thickness is perfect. All that orange stitching. You have nice flat black on the buttons, and then I like the way the gauge instrumentation is. You have that classic look to the tach, the speedometer, and then you have that nice digital display in the center there. Like I said, you could have your Jeep and have the amenities. You don't have to give everything up anymore, but this Jeep definitely falls in alignment with what Chevy's doing with the ZR2 and the Bison. Is it at the Raptor level? No, there's not many vehicles. I don't think there's any vehicle really at that Raptor level. Something very special about that truck, but it's nice to see Jeep sticking to its roots, really looking at their clientele and what they want. And you guys have spoken up and said, hey, I want some kind of desert running, rock crawling vehicle. They have it here with the Mojave. But if it's trucks like these mid-size, muscle-built trucks ready to conquer the world, if you want to see those on the channel, leave a comment in the comment section. If you're new and you're on your way out, hit the subscribe button. I promise you it's worthwhile coming back for more. If you are a subscriber, thank you for being part of the Raised Rise family. If you want to help us keep making great content just for you, it's down there in the description. Click the link, get yourself some Raised Rise merch. Got to give it up to my wonderful wife, Lori. After seeing this Mojave, she wants to go do some rock crawling of her own. I think we do Raptor style in the Raised Rise family. What do you think? Put that in the comment section. Thank you, Lori, for all your hard work. And just like always, I'll see you on the next ride.